into our second session of presentations by our team members. Today we will be having a presentation by Mr. Venkatraman Subramanian. So he will be taking us through various methods and ways in which we can tackle the problems that we're facing because of the COVID situation. I now leave it to Venkat to take this session forward.
Right. Thank you, Sunita, for a quick and wonderful introduction. So let me introduce myself once again. My name is Venkat. I'm a business process coach. Help the small, medium, and startup organizations to set up process and systems and effectively and efficiently use the resource available with them. See, that's the my niche, and I help them to use a tool called Excel to optimize everything before they getting into a business automation software. Okay. So let's move on to the slide. So what does come to your mind when you see this picture? You can unmute and talk, because let's make it little interactive rather than it's a one side and having a Q&A at the end. Just by seeing this, what do you get in your mind?
One side you are undressed and another side is dressed.
Sir, one side is washing clothes and another side is ironed clothes.
Fantabulous.
One side is disorganization and the other side is organized.
Unorganized, organized. Correct.
Perfect. So yeah, bingo, you got Sunita and Murali. So process is changing the unorganized business practice into an organized practice by defining process in systems is called a business process. So can someone tell me what is the difference between, or what quickly define what is called a process and what is called a system?
A system is a more holistic and a more larger picture, which is probably consists of various processes.
Let's make it very simple. So anyone else want to take a try? I know it is not a rocket science. You guys can answer it. So it's not like, you don't need to keep it silent and suddenly you should reveal it. I know everyone has the answer.
A system is a collection of process.
That's awesome. So let me make
Sir, no, sir.
Go ahead.
Like system will be implemented in a business, but wherein the process makes the system to work efficient, sir.
Excellent. So I will put it in a very simple way. Process is what to do, system is how to do. See, that's called a process and systems. Process is what to do and system is how to do. Okay, everywhere you go, whatever is the system you are following it, without a process, a system cannot exist. Okay, for example, Murli is into software development. Until otherwise he knows the customer process or the so-called ASIS. Without that, he cannot build a system at all. So which means process is what to do and system is how to do.
Okay.
So when I say process, see, there are basic 7 steps in process, no matter whatever you do, and this has to be followed for an efficient and successful process. So with your permission, can I put everyone on the mute, because somewhere some noise is coming. All right. I'm sharing the screen again. Okay, so if you see, there are 7 steps. The first step is define your goals. So we have to be very clear on what is the goal out of this process we are going to get. See, what is the goal you are planning? What is the outcome of this process? See, that's very clear. That's called a goal. Let's say I want to have an efficient CRM system where I know how many inquiries I have received. This is the goal. Okay. Next is plan and map your process. See, now you have what do you call? In order to get that list of the inquiries, what and all you should know, what and all you should do, and you accordingly map your process. See, process is nothing but a set of instructions, small instructions. Let's say when an inquiry comes, so how do you record it? How do you handle it? How do you follow up? How do you create a status? All these things called a step-by-step instruction on what to do. So just plan it and map it with your process. Next is creator actions, like who has to update it, when they have to update it, either they have to update immediately after completing the inquiry call or checking the inquiry leads, or next is the assigning the stakeholder. So who will do it? Is it the person who handles the call do it, or the business owner does it, or the telecaller people who does it? So that has to be done. There is a format of creating this, capturing this 7 steps itself. Okay, next is the test the process. See, run it for 1 or 2 days and see how this works, because that is very key. So whatever we do it up to level step 3, it is only theoretical. Okay, we may not know whether that works or not. Probably we might say, okay, X will record it. Probably X may not good in recording, or probably that person might be handling the process calls continuously. He may not be in a position to do it. These are the practical difficulties. When you test it, then you will get to know. Now, once that is done, you have test, you got the corrections, change it, then implement the process in a live environment. Start asking the people to record all the leads into the system. Once that's done, you will start monitoring the results. See, because implementing process is not challenging, but monitoring results is always a challenging, because the human psychology is, we start something, we may continue, we may not continue, and we'll stop monitoring it based on our priority. So I always tell people, if you want to do anything systematically, okay, so what is necessary, make it compulsory. If you have to get up at 5:30 in the morning, right, so our mind will give always excuse. Make it compulsory. Come may what, I will get up at 5 o'clock, so or 5:30. So bring in that discipline. So when the moment you bring in that discipline, that process fall in place. And next is, you can repeat it. See, repeat is nothing but, like, process is not a destination, it's a journey. Means it will keep on evaluating, evolving, keep on moving. Like when you take even a Zoom, initially it was different, and after this March COVID, they found a lot of bugs, they found a lot of corrections, and they've started doing it. So please evaluate your process in a given interval and see that you can mature it to the next level. Like classic example is our Nishta. Initially, I'm part of Nishta from the day one. Okay, I know how it was. Now I know how it is today. So I have seen the app, the system, the login created for Nishta. It was awesome. You can send friend requests, you can search for members. A lot of things are there in Nishta portal. Actually, that's the power of setting up a process using 7 steps. You're all with me. Any doubts, you can unmute and ask, or else I can move it. Probably if you can switch on a video and give me a thumbs up, so that I will ensure that you have understood. Thumbs up can be your reaction from your Zoom. No need to be that. That's okay. Right. So thank you so much. I'm moving to the next screen. Okay. So if you see processes, this is how it is. It is define, measure, analyze, implement. This is called, this is a part of the larger picture of any process or a system. You have to define, you have to measure, you have to analyze, and you have to implement. This is what we have seen it in the previous steps as as 7 different steps. And to put it very simple, to achieve it, we have to follow define, measure, analyze, and implement. All right. So again, once the process is implemented, this is the step we have to follow. That is review, improve, sustain. As I told you, in many systems, many companies, they start with a great process, but eventually they fail. If you see, either they would have not reviewed that existing process, or they might have not followed the process itself. That's the major failure for them. And many big companies, like you take the Reliance, the Tatas, the KFCs, the Microsoft. You see, you take everyone, anyone, and the banking sector, they keep on reviewing, improving, and sustaining. So for example, how many of you using SBI? SBI, that's a good system. Many of us know that initially, when the net banking was introduced, there is no concept of OTP. Okay, once the fraudulence has increased, they've developed, based on the review, they've brought in the OTP concept. Now, once that is done and people started spoofing the mobile number and everything, they reviewed it. They improved of doing the OTP on the app itself, so that it is linked with your account. That is, so the spoofing, the fraudulent activities can be very minimized. Indeed, in your emailing system, if you see, they have brought in 2-factor authentication, where you can use it a Google Authenticator or some other Microsoft Authenticator application to generate your OTP so that no one can log in your use your email ID in an unauthorized manner. See, this is called review improves, and they will come back. Now, Google Pay for business. Okay, they have implemented. Initially, what they do is when you apply for Google Pay for your business, they will come see your place. They have to submit a document. Now they're initiating video call and voice call for verification because of the COVID. So this is the power of process review, improve, and sustain. So it is not only defining the process, we have to continuously review, improve, and sustain. That's the success of many bigger companies, why they could able to adhere and stay in the market ahead of other people. Okay. So very simple. Okay, people will ask, let's take I have explained about process. Now resource. People often mistaken when we say resource. Okay, they think resource means employees. Okay, of course it includes employees also, but if you see resource is not only employees, it is also every your printer, every asset or every system which is connected, every object which is connected to your business is called resource. Okay, so like your employee, your printer, your office computers, your datas, okay, and your products, your service, everything is a resource for your organization. So how do we use it efficiently, effectively, and do it? So let's take an employees as a resource example. How do we effectively, efficiently handle? Then I will explain you how we can use the customers. We call them as a resource because they are only helping us to grow our business. I'll also explain how we can effectively, efficiently use the resource called a customer. Okay, employee. If you see during this COVID, many companies have given layoff for the employees, or either the employee is demotivated or the business owner is completely demotivated. That's ending in removing the people from the work. So how do we effectively use this resource called employee? Why we need to see first? It is always starts with why. Why we need to retain the resource during this period? That is very key. I'm sure everyone will agree with me. It is very difficult to take someone else new now, train them to do your business if you have a trained staff for 5 years or 6 years who is doing this business for a longer time. Okay, very smart businessman will not afford to lose an experienced employee, the resource, okay, employee, because they are the key asset for an organization, so that after this COVID or everything is whatever the challenges is going on, it is only momentary. It will go off. Eventually it will fade off. Absolutely. I mean, if you see from last week, things have started back to the normal, and we call it as new normal. People started adhering to it, and they have started doing it. And I work with many small clients, and I see they are finding it difficult to get a new resource because during this COVID, they have sent all the resource, they laid off all the resource. Now those resource not coming back to the same organization. They are looking for a better organization. So effective utilization of resource is very key for any organization, especially when it comes to employee, because employee are the trained professionals who can take care of your business either in your presence or not in your presence. So that is very key. You should take care of the resource, which is very key for your organization. Like, one of our greatest resources is our vehicle. Okay, how we maintain it? We do give it for service, 10,000 kilometer service, 5,000 kilometer service. Once in 2,000 kilometers, we check the air, and once in 50,000 kilometers, we we balance the wheel. All these things will come because that's the effective maintenance of that resource, which will help you to travel smooth without any issues to your destination. So that is one of the resource. Next, is that clear? Or you have any doubts, you can ask. Someone has left, I guess. Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
Venkat.
Yeah, now,
Continue.
have any doubts? Otherwise, we'll take it to the next. Or you want to ask the questions at the end? Fair enough.
End, sir. That will be better. End.
Okay. So which is say okay. Next, if you see, so let's start with another. Let's take another resource called a customer. So why customer is important for an organization? Okay, how are we maintaining the customer relationship? Okay, because that is very key. I see many people they are focusing on a new customers every time. So they say I don't have any customers. I don't have they in one of my clients company they were tracking a number of new customers every month, every week. So I tell people, see, my point of view I shared with them is, see, instead of getting for a new customer, why don't you focus on the existing customer by selling more to them and selling new services to them? Because the advantage is you don't need to what do you call it? You don't, there is no customer acquisition cost, because when you go for a new customer you have to pay acquisition cost. If you get the customer through any social media or any networking forum or xyz some references, obviously you will end up in paying some money. But by keeping a relationship with the resource called customer, you without the acquisition or with a less acquisition, you're going to take you're going to make a business beautiful during this COVID also. I had a beautiful experience with one of my client 2 months before. During the peak of the COVID season, he is in Parani actually. He is running a building material company. Okay, he is well established. He is there for more than 30 years. Okay, I was talking with them and I asked him, "So how is your business going? Everything?" He said, "Business is going fine, sir, and it's good, sir. I've built business opportunities of minimum of 5 to 8 lakhs in the month of July." I was shocked and surprised. So how it is possible when other people claims that you don't have any business, or how it is possible for you? Then he said, sir, so I focus on customer relationship because that is very key. So I don't focus on one-time customer or a new customer every time. I have taken a database, my customer database. I've started calling everyone and I started asking them about their well-being during this COVID. I didn't sell anything there. I was started asking how everything is safe or everything, all these things they were asking. And eventually I could see out of 50 people I called, 10 people said, sir, I'm starting my business in the month of July. So I will give you a business. Please contact me during this first week of July. See, I was surprised and excited to see when people complained about this COVID business is not happening, everything. I could see one person has taken a positive approach of maintaining a relationship with the customer, the resource, which is the key resource. One key resource your employee, another key resource your customer. So I could see he could manage it very well. But the challenge with this person is he is having more than 500 customers, but he could able to reach only 50 people. Then I asked him why. He said, "Sir, I have a process of calling the people. I mean, customer database, calling them, but I don't have any proper system to do it." So that's where I told him, "Why not you go for a CRM system which can help you to talk with the people, get the keep a relationship with the people, ensure that you get the business." Even also during the COVID. So maybe business may not happen during the COVID, or sooner or later, once everything is normalized, obviously the business is going to happen, because the world cannot afford to run like this for a longer time. So obviously it is a certain period of time. Once that is done, eventually we are going to get back to normal and we'll start doing it. Oh, maybe we start working in a different way. Now, earlier I used to visit the client place. I used to travel across India, sometimes abroad. Now everything is happening through Zoom. So it's easy for me. The cost is saved for the customer and everything is in. So this process is, see, as I told you, consulting is what I do. How I do, either in person or through Zoom. It is the system. Time to time, I review it. I mature the process. I mature my deliverables and take it. So this CRM is a very key customer relationship, because that is going to help you in business. So how we can maintain it? By setting up a, okay. So if you see how we can do it. So generally, there is a standard process of following it. This is the standard practice, how the industry practice, how they maintain a customer relationship. Okay, otherwise people they do it in a different way. They write it in a small notebook, they use some software, Excel. Even in Excel, you have to keep it in an organized way. So this is how, see, these are the steps where this is little technical. As I told you, previous information was the process, and this is a system how to do all these things. And okay, what is the outcome of it? You have an improved sales, best customer services, and you have a data with different updated data at different levels. So updated data in the sense, like, how many times he has bought from us, what are the products he purchased from us, how frequent he is purchasing from us, is he giving us a volume business, is there anything that I can offer him so that I can get continuous business from him. And effective and efficient lead management. See, as you all aware that for any business, okay, lead is also another resource where we have to create a funnel. So until otherwise we create a funnel, we'll not know what could be the conversion for the next month. So we cannot say, okay, as and when business comes, I will work. It doesn't go that way. So we have to create a funnel in such a way that, okay, we get to know how many can be closed, how can we can create a different bucket where hot, warm, and based on our terminology, you can create a similar buckets, and you can post it, and you can make a follow-up, ensure that you get business from them. So this is one process step. This is also an outcome of the process, and having a proper process and systems in place. And obviously you will end up in giving a excellent customer relationship. So this is the advantage of having a proper relationship maintained with our resource. Resource called employee and resource called customer, with the help of a proper process and systems. So I have seen a couple of my clients following this process and system from the month of Jan, and they end up in doing business of at least few lakhs in the last month. And they are expecting more as the lockdown relaxation is giving more, and sooner or later the lockdown will be lifted, and they will end up in doing more business. So this is what I want to explain about the process and the resource. So I'm done with it. So any questions? It's open to ask. So ரெண்டு விதமா தான் doubts வராது. ஒன்னு புரிஞ்சிடுச்சுனா doubts வராது, ஒன்னு புரியலனா doubts வராது. So you have to, now the floor is open for questions.
Sir, everything is very clear, sir.
இது நான் எந்த உங்களை புரிஞ்சிட்டு எடுக்கணுமா புரியலங்கிறதுல எடுக்கணுமா?
புரிஞ்சிடுச்சு சார்.
Super.
Very clear.
It's very clear, sir. Thank you.
So,
but one question, sir, like you were saying about you were talking about the resources, right? So resources, when we say resources, it contains all the kind of resources. So you were specific about the employees, right? So when we say employees, why are we specific with the employees other than all the other resources?
Okay, see, it's very simple. You have printer, you have software, you have a computer, you have everything, right? But you need someone to have operated, right?
Yes.
So we need to touch the source, not the object. So that's why I'm telling you, talk with the employee so that you can get the better productivity of handling the other resources effectively and efficiently. Yes. See, there is no point in installing antivirus for a software. Windows or any new software in your systems until otherwise you have a proper person to operate.
Yeah. One more point I want to address, sir. I think employees can be aligned to the vision. All the other resources may or may not be aligned to the vision. That may change.
No. Every resource can be aligned to the vision. That's very clear. It can be assigned.
Yeah. When somebody is aligned, say for example, if you have 2 or 3 employees who are really aligned to the vision of the company, then that is the greatest asset other than the buildings or the infrastructure or the systems which we are having. So just want to highlight that, sir.
Yes, Venkat. Venkat, sir.
கேளுங்க சார்.
See, this is a resource basing on the manpower company you made it. I fully agree on that. Your objectives, what I understood that. I wanted to explain further on this. Inventory also the sources. This is the main sources. Suppose if you have a combination of processing, manufacturing, and setup with this one, then all the three will be combinated. That's what it, all the sources are more important. But in this COVID, what you are understood, this is resources just because of employees' problems. It is most important subject now for the COVID-19.
Right. So just to clarify here, Vijay sir, see, no matter whichever industry, product, service we have guidelines only for the resources called employee, not for the machineries. Because machineries will work as per the process, right? If you put X, Y only will come. What is the percentage of X to be put into the system is defined to the resource called employee. If we see, that's why everything is resource. That employee should be given a guidance on what to do, what not to do. The machine will work based on the input. That's all.
No. I'm not talking about the machinery, plant and machinery. I'm not talking about see that with regard to the materials, also the most important for source is a resource.
Yeah.
Sourcing. That is what I'm saying. That not the
Sir.
machinery.
No. That's what I told you in the beginning. Every object which is connected to the business is a resource.
Yes.
But I have taken employee and customer here. Even
That
your
is what
resource.
that is what Anu is concerned on that. That's what now is Anu is clear on this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So every resource is very important.
Yes,
Every
very
resource
important.
is very important.
Yes.
That's what. Now Anu is very clear. So see, looking at her, I know very well.
Yes, sir. I'm very clear now.
Excellent.
Okay,
So,
bye.
Murli sir, Louis sir, Jayashree, Sunita, Stalin.
Okay, sir. Process, the process பத்தி சொல்லிருந்தீங்கல்ல. So when somebody is streamlining their process, any idea where they should start, which?
Okay. So always, sir, which is the entry point for any business is the lead management, sir. Okay. So they have to. I will show you another screen how we started for another client, so you get an idea. This is where we have started because they are clueless on, like you ask. The customer is clueless on what to, where do they start. So I told them, okay, which is your entry point? They said, my lead tracking is an entry point because I use a track of the incoming leads from various sources. So we started creating this tracking sheet. Okay. So the beauty of is we have reviewed this Excel sheet. I have done it because I'm a Microsoft Office specialist in Excel. Okay. So I'm working with Excel for last 20 years. I got married in 96 and I started using Excel in 97. So that's the difference. 1 year.
Sir.
Okay.
Excel marriage is a difference.
Abhi is my
Together.
Because Excel sheet you made up her. She is also in the sheet, is it?
Illa sir, Abhi is my first wife. Excel is my second wife.
Second
That's
wife.
what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. So,
third fourth எல்லாம் என்னாச்சு வெங்கட்?
அது பிரைவேட் இப்ப பேச முடியாதுமா. அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் எனக்கு டாபிக் கொடுக்கும்போது நான் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். Okay. So, interestingly, I tell you, this data we started capturing it after 2 months. Okay. We reviewed this data. I just asked, I told the business owner, can we review this data? He started reviewing. See, they get data, they get leads from walk-in, Facebook, WhatsApp, IndiaMart, and interestingly, we started reviewing IndiaMart. For IndiaMart only, that person was paying huge actually, and especially for one product, they are a premium vendor. But unfortunately, in 2 months' time, they got only 3 leads for that. We have started tracking it. Then we asked them, "Can you please check once and what is that?" So we started, creating, evaluating, and we started investigating on this information where it could went wrong. So the first task what we have checked is, okay, the person who is handling it could have been missed out. But I was told the business owner only is handling, and they have checked completely. It's only 3 leads. And second, we thought, okay, that person asked, the business owner asked, is there a possibility that IndiaMart can cheat? I said, it's everything in black and white, so there is no point in doing it. It's not. Immediately after seeing the data, I got just a small doubt. Then I asked that person, how do I search your product in a layman perspective. Don't use technical jargon. How do I use it? So let's say I know ERP is a software. See, for example, Jayashree is in HR, so she knows about headhunting. Okay, so I cannot go and search and headhunting. I will say, how can good employee, recruiter for good employee, something like that I will type. So I asked, is there anything, the keyword? Then that person said, oh, this keyword we can try. Interestingly, I logged in my India Mart account. I searched for that item. I'm not getting, so I didn't get that list. Their competitor came in the first actually. So then we went ahead and we have seen the keyword and we found, okay, the keywords was too technical. People not even aware about that. Then they have corrected the keywords and next 10 days they got 25 leads actually. See, that's the power of a process. So we effectively monitor it. And also if you see, then we have created a tracking system like this, like for the month, for this XYZ denotes the employee and this is the month. Okay, and this is, they have two companies. Okay, so any employee can work for any company and they have created a target. So we have created a master and this is completely a dashboard which is done by me for the client. Okay, so this is the process. So every month the business owner should set a target for every client, I mean every employee for different companies for different products, because the two companies works with, I mean sells different products actually. Okay, and target and started monitoring it. Then interestingly it is revealed again, one person is focusing on one item because that person is expert in handling that item. Then we have given a training to the person, understand. Now the sales is spread across actually. See, that's also a key where the process helped us to do it. And this is another tracking sheet. What we have done it is on the top portion, if you see, it is total sales by the product, and bottom is the inquiry mode. The one which is highlighted in red, okay, which means that is a discrepancy in the data entry. Okay, the whatever data they've entered, there is a mismatch. If there is no mismatch, then that will be in the green. Since there is a mismatch, it is in red. So these are the small steps and we have done it. And again, for them to understand what is the inquiry and conversion, because all this we need to as a process we need to monitor. Process is what to do every month. The business owner should see what is the inquiries they have received product wise and what is the conversion they have done. Okay, and how to do is the system. We have used an Excel system to track it, and this is a, so this is a classic example how a process effectively utilized for a customer to track the lead, so that it helps them to monitor where they are doing well, where they need to improve, and where they need to focus upon, which employee is doing sales of what, why they are focusing more on that. See, by making a simple single entry, it has revealed all the information. See, that's the power of the system. I hope this answers your question, Louis. So we always recommend to start with a lead management.
Sir, Venkat sir.
Perfect, sir.
Venkat sir.
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
நீங்க சொன்ன ப்ராசஸ் வந்து புனல். I think Mr. Louis வந்து he has asked for a different lead to management for the processing, for the production. I think from a set of manpower நினைக்கிறேன்.
இல்ல சார், நான் சொன்னது
can be
வந்து
applied
funnel
to
கிடையாது.
anything.
நான் சொன்னது
can
funnel
be
கிடையாது.
yes.
நான் சொன்னது funnel கிடையாது. இது வந்து எப்படின்னா, you have all the junk data in the funnel. Sales funnel நம்ம சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, leads, suspect, prospect, அப்புறம் qualify பண்ணி you make it as opportunity, then only it comes to a client, right? So in the first lead stage, ஏன்னா ஜெனரலா எப்படின்னா ஹியூமன் மென்டாலிட்டி, சின்ன கம்பெனிஸ்லாம் எப்படி தெரியுமா சார், பிசினஸ் ஓனர் வந்து அவங்க மொபைல் நம்பர் தான் கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. ஓகே, அவங்க வந்து அவங்க எம்ப்ளாயி கிட்ட சொல்றதுன்னா எதெல்லாம் பிசினஸ் கன்வெர்ட் ஆகுதோ அதை மட்டும் தான் சொல்லுவாங்க. வேற எதுவும் சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க.
If you allow me, I will have one example that will be, I think it will key to every member. Suppose you have you are a manufacturer of pen, ball pen. First you are having a India Mart. உங்க இதுவே நான் சொல்றேன், India Mart னுடைய ஆர்டர்ஸ் இருக்கு. First மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்ல என்ன பண்ணணும்னா POQ, that is bill of quantity, as prepare பண்ணி அதிலே இருந்து ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணா it makes sense on it. That's what I'm going to say.
Sir, actually இது வந்து process are interlinked sir. He asked where do we start அப்படினு கேட்டதுக்காக lead management னு சொன்னேன்.
Lead management. Okay.
So நீங்க சொல்ற அந்த bill of queueலாம் எப்போ வரும்னா, when I looking for a purchase or when I'm conversion, all these things it will come into that stage. But I'm talking about the initial stage. Say na India Mart sir ரொம்ப சிம்பிள் சார். இந்தியா மார்ட் ஒரு வருஷமா யூஸ் பண்றேன் சார். நான் இதை ரெனியூ பண்ணலாமா வேணாமாங்கறத எதை பேஸ் பண்ணி டிசைட் பண்ணுவீங்க? Until otherwise I have a data.
Conversion இருக்கா இல்லையான்னு பார்த்து.
கன்வர்ஷனே இல்ல. லீட் இருக்கா இல்லையா? கன்வர்ஷன் செகண்ட் ஸ்டெப். எனக்கு லீட் வருதா, குவாலிட்டி லீட்ஸ் வருதா அப்படிங்கிறது தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப்பே யாரா இருந்தாலும். ஓகே, சோ அதுக்கு இந்த சிம்பிள் லீட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் நம்ம ஆரம்பிச்சோம்னா we get to know. அதுக்கப்புறம் இது அப்படியே டெவலப் ஆகும். ஓகே, இப்போ நான் காமிச்சலையா உங்களுக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப்ல எவ்வளவு வருது, ஃபேஸ்புக்ல எவ்வளவு வருது, நான் இது பண்றதுக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப்லயே பண்ணிட்டு போயிடுவேன், நான் இது பண்றதுக்கு ஃபேஸ்புக்லயே பண்ணிட்டு போயிடுவேன். Indeed, I tell you what has happened. So we have created a tracker for them for payment. Okay, so payment பாத்தீங்கன்னா சரியாவே வரல. ஏன்னா அவங்க வாட்ஸ்அப் பிசினஸ்ல என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா ஒன்னு பேமெண்ட் ரிசீவபிள் எல்லாம் லேபிள் போட்டு வச்சிருக்காங்க. இட்ஸ் வெரி டிஃபிகல்ட். I told him go for a Zoho books. It is very simple, very easy. Now that person is they're using Vyapar. Okay, now that serves a purpose. Simple. They outstanding எடுக்கலாம், அவங்க எல்லாம் பார்க்கலாம், ஏஜிங் பார்க்கலாம், everything is done. So they have not seen the larger picture. Okay, see, that is very key. So ஒவ்வொன்றுத்துக்கும் ஒன்னு நம்ம டீடைல்டா, ஏன்னா இதே காமன் ப்ராசஸா இப்ப ஜெயஸ்ரீக்கோ எனக்கோ சுனிதாக்கோ ஸ்டாலினுக்கோ இல்ல உங்களுக்கோ இல்ல அனுக்கோ செட் ஆகாது. ஓகே, எவ்ரிவேர் டிஃபரெண்ட் ப்ராசஸ் டு பி அப்ளைட். இப்போ இதுவே லூயிஸ்க்கு யூஸ் பண்ற லீட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்டுக்கு வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா அனுக்கு செட் ஆகாது. அனுக்கு செட் ஆகுது, எனக்கு செட் ஆகாது. ஏன்னா எனக்கு லீட்ஸ் வரவே வராது. ரொம்ப எனக்கு மொத்தமே வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு வருஷத்துக்கே 15-20 என்கொயரிஸ் தான் வருமே. அதுல 10 to 15 will get converted. ஓகே, அதுல ஹை டிக்கெட் வேல்யூ எல்லாமே 1 லட்சம் 2 லட்சம் அப்படிதான் இருக்கும். ஐ எம் ஃபோக்கஸிங் தட் ஒன்லி. ஏன்னா என்னோட ஃபோக்கஸ் லிமிட்டட், அவ்வளவுதான். ஓகேயா, இப்போ ஒவ்வொருத்தருக்கு இப்போ லூயிஸ் இருக்காரு, அவர் வந்து விபிஎஸ் பண்றாருன்னா விபிஎஸ் பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவர் வந்து அவரோட மினிமம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா 3500 rupees இருக்கும். 2 GB ரேமோட 500 MB 500 GB ஹார்ட் டிஸ்கோட. அப்புறம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா வாட் யூ கால் விண்டோஸ் 2 டெர்மினல் லைசன்ஸோட 4000 rupees per month கொடுப்பாரா இருக்கும். கரெக்டா லூயிஸ்? ஐ மே பி ராங் ஆல்சோ. லிட்டில் ஸ்பெக் அதிகமா போகும்போது சேஞ்சஸ் ஆகும். ஓகே, ஜெயஸ்ரீ இருப்பாங்க. ஜெயஸ்ரீ வந்து she will charge x amount. She will say I will not recruit non-IT, I will recruit only IT. Okay, I will recruit only skilled laborers அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அவங்களோட இது அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி தான் ரிக்வயர்மெண்ட் வரும். இப்ப சுனிதா கண்டென்ட் எடுத்தாங்கன்னா ஓகே I will not write for food blogging, I will write only for IT. இந்த மாதிரி ஃபோரம் தான் எழுதுறாங்க. அனு ஒரு ERP சிஸ்டம் நினைக்கிறேன். ஓகே, அனுவோட ERP சிஸ்டம் she focus only on the companies who has 100 crore plus business. Less than that she will not focus. So அப்போ லிமிட்டட். ஏன்னா நம்ம எவ்வளவு மேல பாக்குறோமோ அவனுக்கு எவ்வளவு கம்மியா தான் வரும் லீடு. But ticket value will be big. See, I am part of another forum. Okay, there we have 5 business consultants. Okay, myself, business process consultant, help to set up process and systems using Excel. Another business consultant using NLP. Another business process consultant using, they have some other technique, Kaizen, some technique they have. Okay, so another person is specialist in lean management. Murli knows about it. We both part of that forum. So there are, and beauty is I collaborated with them, we presented and we got joint clients. Okay, so it depends, so it differs. So அதனால வந்து ஒவ்வொருத்தரோட ஃபனலுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி அந்த சிஸ்டம் சில பேருக்கு தேவைப்படவே படாது. இப்போ எனக்கு லீட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் தேவைப்படாது, ஆனா இப்போ தேவைப்படுது, ஏன்னா நிறைய வருது. ஓகே, so I'm using HubSpot னு ஒரு CRM யூஸ் பண்றேன் நான். It's open source. For me HubSpot is enough. பட் சில பேருக்கு மைக்ரோசாஃப்ட் CRM தான் யூஸ் பண்ணணும், சில பேருக்கு Zoho CRM தான் யூஸ் பண்ணணும். ஏன்னா their Salesforce is bigger. Salesforce இருந்தாங்க. So it depends. இப்போ முரளி இருக்காரு, முரளி can help us to develop a custom CRM. ஏன்னா இப்போ Zoho CRM னா it has come with a predefined functionality, and if you go for customization they will charge you bomb. Okay, but Murli can give us a beautiful system in such a way so that we can get it done whatever we want in the system. So ஒவ்வொருத்தர requirement பொறுத்து அது மாறும். ரொம்ப பேசிட்டேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
இல்ல clarity, ரொம்ப clarity இருக்கு.
You clarified everything.
That's the thing.
We can fit in the process anywhere, wherever it is required. அதுக்கேத்த மாதிரி the things may change.
And the 7 steps we should follow strictly. அத ஃபாலோ பண்ணனா எந்த process எங்க வேணாலும் ஃபிட் பண்ணலாம்.
Right.
So that is very key. And the 7 process is very key. And the 7 steps is, நிறைய கம்பெனில பாத்தீங்கன்னா they fail to miss out one step. இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, டெஸ்ட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, அதை மெச்சூர் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, இப்படியே ஓடினே இருக்கும் அது. அந்த மாதிரி. ரைட். ஜெயஸ்ரீ ஏதோ கேட்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க?
இல்ல வெங்கட்.
இல்ல அன்மியூட் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கீங்க, அதனால கேட்டேன்.
really useful, Venkat. ஒரு எல்லாமே refreshing-ஆ இருந்தது. I want you to share that slide with us.
Yeah, I will share. நான் உங்களுக்கு individual share.
Definitely.
And indeed பாத்தீங்கன்னா I can show you another slide, detailed slide. 1 minute. If you are okay, then I will share that very detailed slide. நான் உங்களுக்கு காமிச்சது வந்து miniature version of the slide. Okay, I will show you a very bigger slide.
அது அப்படியே ஷேர் பண்ணிருங்க சார்.
என்னோட கூகுள் பேடிஎம் அக்கௌண்ட் இது கூகுள் பே கொடுக்கட்டுமா?
சார் எப்படி இருக்கீங்க
சார்?
முரளி சார் எப்படி இருக்கீங்கன்னா?
நல்லா இருக்கேன் சார்.
அவருக்கு என்ன சார் ராஜா சார் அவரு?
இப்படி எல்லாம் இல்ல சார்.
சார் சும்மா சொல்லாதீங்க.
மல்டிபிள் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் எடுத்துட்டு டெலிவரியில பயங்கரமா ஸ்டக் ஆயிருக்காரு சார் அவரு.
ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதா? ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதா? சோ processல பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ஸ்டெப்ஸ்ல தான் இன்வால்வ்ட். டிஃபைன், மெஷர், அனலைஸ், இம்ப்ரூவ் அண்ட் கண்ட்ரோல். ஒரு ப்ராசஸ் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த இந்த இதுல தான் நான் எடுத்துட்டு போவேன் எப்பவுமே. நான் பெருசா இதை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண யார் காமிக்க மாட்டேன், ஏன்னா காமிச்சா பயந்துருவாங்க. சோ பட் இந்த ஸ்டெப்ல தான் உங்களை கூட்டிட்டே போவேன். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டிஃபைன் ப்ராசஸ் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா, சோ டிஃபைன் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா ஓகே, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டிஃபைன்ல வந்து இதுதான் இருக்கும். வாட் ஷுட் பி இம்ப்ரூவ், அத நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் ரிலேட்டடா வந்து we have to define. These are the steps involved. ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் பாத்தீங்கன்னா மெஷர். மெஷர்ல பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் மெஷர் பண்ணுவோம். எங்க பண்ணணும்? we call it as y measure னு சொல்லுவாங்க. y measure னா where do we improve? y measure will be set everywhere. Okay, so the y measure is very key. இந்த y measureங்கிறது எங்க யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க மேஜரானா? மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. This is part of lean management. So lean management la y measure is very key. Okay, that is part of tracking. So measure anga use பண்ணுவாங்க. அப்புறம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா then the analyze phase. Okay, நம்ம எங்க gaps இருக்கு, எப்படி என்னென்ன gaps identify பண்ணோம், என்ன ரீசனா இருக்கும் அதுக்கு. So ஏதாவது critical factor is stopping. இப்போ உதாரணமா பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ப்ராடக்ட் கரெக்டா போயிடும், ஆனா கஸ்டமர் பேமெண்ட் வராது. But that is only an effect. But people think that is a cost, customer is not paying. But the root cause is the person from our end who is responsible for billing may not be sending the bill along with the material or sending on time. They will take 15 days time. என்ன டேர்ம்ஸ் இருக்கும் உங்களுக்கும் அவருக்கும்? நீங்க பில் அனுப்பிச்சாலே 30 நாள் சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. உடனே இவங்க என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, சார் கஸ்டமர் நான் டெலிவரி 30ஆம் தேதி அனுப்பிச்சிட்டேன், 55 நாள் எடுத்துக்கிறாங்கன்னா ஆப்வியஸ்லி. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி கிரிட்டிக்கல் ஃபேக்டர்ஸ்ல then we have to validate it. Okay, then improve phase. Improve இந்த கேப்ஸ்ல வந்து எப்படி bridge பண்றது? இத நான் உங்களுக்கு சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, எப்படி பண்றது? இப்போ okay, the person is not sending an invoice on time, so we'll have a tracker. Okay, நீங்க இந்த மெட்டீரியல் டெலிவரி ஆயிடுச்சா, இன்வாய்ஸ் என்னைக்கு போட்டாங்க, பேமெண்ட் என்னைக்கு ரிசீவ் பண்ணோம், நம்ம என்னைக்கு ரிசீவ் பண்ணோம், இத நம்ம ஒரு மாசம் நீங்க முதல் நாளே ஃபாலோ பண்ணீங்கன்னா ஒன்னும் ஐடியா கிடைக்காது. You should have some data. So 2 மாசம் 3 மாசம் டேட்டா எடுத்தாதான் அவங்க இன்வாய்ஸ் ரைஸ் பண்ற பேட்டர்ன், மெட்டீரியல் டெலிவரி ஆகிற பேட்டர்ன், கஸ்டமர் பேமெண்ட் பண்ற பேட்டர்னும் நமக்கு தெரிய வரும் அந்த டேட்டால. ஒரு 600 ஒரு 500 டிரான்சாக்ஷன் இருக்குன்னா then we'll get to know என்ன பேட்டர்ன்ல நமக்கு வருதுன்னு. ஓகேங்களா? then the final phase is the control. நான் உங்கள்ட்ட சொன்ன மாதிரி we have to keep on review, improve, sustain, improve, review, sustain அப்படிங்கறத நம்ம வந்து we have to. So this is the factor, I mean this is the complete chart. Okay, so இதுதான் வந்து ஒரு business processல involved. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. இந்த சிஸ்டம் இல்லாம இத ஃபாலோ பண்ணாம ப்ராசஸ் நான் பண்றேன்னு யாராவது சொன்னாங்க அப்படின்னா it may not be successful.
வெங்கட், இதனால தான் நான் இன்டரப்ட் பண்ணேன். சாரி, இதனால தான் இன்டரப்ட் பண்ணேன். இப்போ you have done very good.
நான் இந்த ஸ்லைட் அதுல காமிக்கல சார், ஏன்னா ரொம்ப கண்டென்ட் அதிகமா இருக்க காமிக்கல.
I want you to be this. Always you have to be like this.
இல்ல எல்லா இடத்துலயும் இது காமிக்க முடியும், நிறைய பேருக்கு புரியாது.
இல்ல நம்ம இதுல காமிக்கலாம் சார், நீங்க தப்பா இருந்தா கூட காமிக்கலாம், ஏன்னா நம்மளுக்குள்ள ஒண்ணு இருக்கு. We are all one.
We also create templates like this. This is called project charter. இந்த project charter என்னன்னா, see processங்கிறது பெருசா ஒண்ணா பண்ண மாட்டோம், சின்னதா பிரிச்சிருவோம் ஆக்சுவலி. ஓகே, இப்போ உதாரணமா பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் நேம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா அக்கவுண்ட்ஸ் ரிசீவபிள் இருக்கும். So to streamline account receivable, project manager யாரு? அந்த finance manager இருப்பாங்க. project sponsor யாரு? கண்டிப்பா கம்பெனி ஓனர் தான் இல்ல. ஓகே, so business case என்ன, இந்த டீம் மெம்பர் என்ன, expected goals என்ன, milestones என்ன, risks and constraints என்ன. Risks and constraints மேஜரா பாத்தீங்கன்னா no cooperation from the employee, not providing data on time, இதெல்லாம் வந்து mitigate பண்றோம். So this is a project charter. So இந்த charter போடுறதுனால நமக்கு என்ன அட்வான்டேஜ்னா, இதை வந்து நம்ம வந்து இந்த ஓனர் கிட்ட கொடுத்து சைன் வாங்கிடும். இதை எல்லாத்தையும் வாங்க முடியுமான்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா முடியாது. only people are doing more than 100 crores 75 crores அவங்களுக்கு தான் இதோட இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸே தெரியும். மேபி 50 crores கூட கன்சிடர் பண்ணலாம். அதுக்கு கீழே இதோட இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் அவங்களுக்கு புரியவே புரியுது. ஏன்னா சின்ன சின்ன ப்ராஜெக்ட் கூட மேபி முரளி சார் மைட் பி யூசிங் திஸ். முரளி சார் இந்த கான்செப்டை யூஸ் பண்ணுவார். இதே ஃபார்வர்ட்ல யூஸ் பண்ணுவாரா தெரியல, பட் இந்த கான்செப்டை யூஸ் பண்ணிப்பார். கண்டிப்பா வந்து என்ன மாடியூல் டெவலப் பண்றாங்க, யாரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் மேனேஜரு, இதுல என்ன ரிஸ்க் மிட்டிகேட்டட் எல்லாம் இது இல்லாம அவரால் பண்ணவே முடியாது. ஒரு மாடியூல் டெவலப்பே பண்ண முடியாது அவரால். கரெக்ட் முரளி சார்? நான் கரெக்டா நான் சொல்றது?
ஆமா ஆமா.
This is very key. So everywhere this process has to go. I think I'm done with my presentation. என்கிட்ட விஜயராகவன் சார் ரொம்ப பேசி டீடைல்ஸ் வாங்கிட்டாரு.
வெரி குட். டீடைல் வாங்கிட்டாங்கல்ல, இதுதான் தேவை. வெரி குட் பிரசன்டேஷன் மிஸ்டர் வெங்கட் சுப்ரமணியம். Really you are rocked today. So where to go?
Thank you so much. Anything, I mean, again I'm open for any questions. Sunita can ask. Sunita ரொம்ப சைலண்டா இருக்காங்க எப்பவுமே.
இல்ல I'm listening to you. It was a very informative and a very interesting session, Venkat.
No, I've shared only one part of it actually. So there are a lot more actually. ஏன்னா நாங்க ஆக்சுவலா இப்ப நான் உங்களுக்கு காமிச்சதெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு சாம்பிள் டேட்டா தான். மேபி ஜெயஸ்ரீ knows me very well because we worked on various projects. Okay, I'm in this field from 92 actually. Okay, so எப்படின்னா what do you call unknowingly I started setting up process for various companies. Then only I'm a software programmer. I'm a Fox Pro Clipper DVS programmer. So unknowingly I started doing it, and over a period of time I got into a software, and I see there is always a difference between the customer process and the software flow. So I thought, okay, there is a gap which can be bridged with the help of process systems. That's why I came into the business. I started this company in 2014 February actually. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி I was in abroad. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி myself Jayashree was working in the same company for almost 5+ years actually. And அதுக்கு முன்னாடி I was working in a shipping company for 10 years. So I worked in various industries actually. Trading, engineering, அப்புறம் வந்து manufacturing. Engineering na சாதாரண சின்ன engineering கிடையாது. It's a 1,000 crore company. So we worked, and I spearheaded the project for their software implementation completely. So இந்த மாதிரி சின்ன jewelries, அந்த மாதிரி trade, hospitality industries, hospitals, இந்த மாதிரி various industryல போடும்போது அந்தந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில என்னென்னலாம் யூஸ் பண்றாங்க அப்படிங்கிறது நமக்கு தெரியும். இப்போ உதாரணமா டயக்னோஸ்டிக் சென்டர் போறோம். நம்ம டயக்னோஸ்டிக் சென்டர் போகும்போது இது ரெக்கார்டிங் ஆஃப் பண்ணிடலாமா, ஒரு நிமிஷம் பாஸ் பண்ணிட்டுமா, ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம். crucial information I have seen it. இது மட்டும் இல்ல, நிறைய விஷயங்கள் அது உள்ள பார்த்திருக்கோம் நாங்க. Okay, how they are doing a lot of things internally to manage to get business. So every industry, even if it is a company which in the same industry, okay, follows a different methodology. Let's say இப்போ வந்து Louis is into VPS hosting இதெல்லாம் இருக்காரு. Okay, இதே கம்பெனி இன்னொருத்தவங்க they are doing it in a different way. I know one person who is into VPS hosting. They are giving tally for 99 rupees per day hosting la. They do it in a different way. Okay, so இந்த மாதிரி ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் ஒரு மாதிரி. இப்ப லூயிஸ் அது பண்ணுவாரா கேட்டீங்கன்னா பண்ண மாட்டார். He is not doing that. Okay, அவர் வந்து லினக்ஸ் விண்டோஸ் சர்வர் he gives, and maybe internal license கேட்டா கொடுப்பாரு, SQL சர்வரோட கொடுப்பாரு, maybe because that is the best way of doing it. நீங்க with the more and more getting into a detail, you will end up in challenges actually. But people are using that as a niche and doing it. That is also there. So that's it from my end.
Very good, very informative session, Venkat sir. Like you gave the complete picture of the resourcing, the project charter. இதெல்லாமே வந்து it was very very important for any business. இது வந்து not only for one business, entire business cycle-க்கு என்ன benefit இருக்குமோ அது எல்லாமே cover பண்ணிட்டீங்க. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for everyone's time. Should there be any questions you have, anything, probably you can ask me in a private window, or probably you can ask in WhatsApp group, wherever you feel. I'm ready to help, and I'm also glad to share that I am ready for free consulting for any MSMEs or micro companies in your known circle who are really struggling to grow their business to the next level, I can support them by giving free consultation for some time so that they can grow the business to the next level. I'm doing it for a few clients now, few of the people, and probably if you need, if you see that someone is really struggling to grow their business, yes, you can count me in. I can support.
Sure. Sure, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Venkat. It was a very informative sort of session because from what I understand, actually this organized processes and systems is not something that really is only for business processes. In fact, when applied to many aspects of our life, I think it can really give success. Even
Obviously.
to students and so on, in different ways, this can be sort of applied. It's an application which it is a mantra which can work across a lot of.
Indeed, we are all much process driven. You know who's our
Yes, yes.
first process consultant in our life? You know who's that? Our mother. They
Mother.
only trained us to get up
Correct,
early in the morning,
correct, correct.
properly brushing, completing all the
Yes,
routines, getting
yes,
ready. That is
yes,
the successful process consultant who trained us. Because of that training only, we are following that till date.
correct.
And we are upgrading it. Those days we might have used this horn, finger, everything. Now we are using brush, using different paste, all these
Hmm,
things. I don't
correct.
know. Someone is still using the same brush from the childhood. I don't know that, but I can change.
No, but this, I mean, I really believe that these are actually small things that can make a difference, as you said, in every aspect of our lives.
Absolutely.